No little girl or little boy says, when I grow up, I'm gonna be an addict. When I grow up, I'm gonna be homeless. When I grow up, I'm gonna be a prostitute.
I've never met so many people who are isolated and no one even cares or is looking for them.
I didn't have a lot of dreams about what I was gonna be when I grew up because I didn't see myself living. I thought I would be, I would eventually be maybe beaten to death.
When you take the time to understand someone's story, the things that are easy to condemn, they stop being so impossible or so absurd, because you can start to see all the different little steps that led someone to that place.
We didn't have a lot growing up. Living with my mom, who was a single parent, she was very loving to me, but she was also very violent. I grew up being abused most of my life. I started experimenting with cocaine and methamphetamine. I didn't want to feel my childhood. I didn't want to feel where I came from, what things I went through, and it was a great escape for me.
There's a story that Jesus tells about a shepherd who leaves 99 sheep to go find one. It doesn't make sense until you realize that's actually the heart of God. He pursues the one at any cost. And that's Felicia's story.
Felicia really wasn't all that different from a lot of the people that we meet here in the community. For her, there was a lot of addiction. There was homelessness at play. There was some behavioral health things going on with her story, but really it was she didn't know her self-worth.
The tenderloin, whew. I spent 3 years in the tenderloin, and it was a nightmare living the way that I did for so many years. I witnessed a lot of violence, gunshots. I seen a guy stabbed to death. I got chased by a pimp that was trying to pimp me out. He kept chasing me from block to block to block. I couldn't get away from him. My boyfriend at the time and I were staying with a friend in an SRO. We were illegally staying there. Kyle is the first person that I met from City Impact. He went to the SROs, and I would ask him, well, can you please pray for us because we have a bad addiction to drugs? And he kept inviting me to go to City Impact, but I wasn't ready at the time. You know, at the same time I was praying to God that I could get off the needle addiction.
She would do well for a while, and then like something would happen and she would kind of crash back down. And we would kind of try and collect the pieces as best as we could, but the reality was she needed housing. She needed a few things that could be stable.
I just kept thinking and praying to God, like, what gives, Lord? When do I have my chance to get off the streets? I just thought, I can't live my whole life on the streets.
Felicia was that one person that no one was really looking for. But the idea of City Impact isn't just our programs and services. The real idea is that one man or one woman can make a difference. And that's what happened when Brad and his wife Stephanie from Oklahoma came on a mission trip. When they flew back, they said, we got to do more for this woman, this homeless woman in the inner city. We have to take her in.
When we got back home from San Francisco, there were 1,000 pictures running through our mind. And Felicia was definitely one of the main ones.
We opened up our home and invited the people who God puts on our heart to come in and live life with them. We feel like we're offering them an opportunity to start afresh. We want to be the people that give them their 1,000th chance.
It was at night, I was laying down on my little blanket, and there was a man, I don't remember his name, but he said, is there a Felicia here? And he had his cell phone, and I was like, yeah, that's me. And he says, here, you have a phone call. And it was Brad Deary on the other line. And he said, how would you like to have an opportunity to come live in Oklahoma and start a new life?
So when Felicia said yes, when she accepted our offer, we were on an airplane flying out there to San Francisco, really just within a few hours.
And we find her on the corner of Ellis on a cardboard box. Even down to that moment of decision, it was so scary because everything that she knew was just one way, and here she has this amazing once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We took a little group photo and off she went.
And we arrived late at night in the Tenderloin and just kind of scooped her up and whisked her away. We brought her back to Oklahoma, and we didn't have a time limit for her to be here. It was just until she was ready. Slowly and little by little, she would regain little bits of her life back.
I no longer live on the streets. I have my own home, and I have 2 little kitties that I love. I have my own car. I have a job. I also belong to a home church, and I serve in the community. We feed the hungry, which is really rewarding because I know where these people come from. I go door to door, speak to people in apartment complexes, just like Kyle and them used to do, I do now. And it's really rewarding because I'm able to plant seeds just like the people at City Impact did for me.
We would have spared no expense or no effort to reach Felicia.
To be a part of what God did in her life is indescribable.
Anyone can make a difference. You can make a difference. Will you help intervene on behalf of someone here in the inner city of San Francisco?